I ran a direct test to test my theory here, and I'm 100% correct. And let me break down to you guys exactly why your metrics when you launch that product look like this, and the guy on YouTube's metrics look like this on day one. A couple years ago, ecom YouTube almost ruined me entirely. It sets extremely unrealistic expectations. Have you ever wondered why you click on an ecom YouTube video and it's a guy saying, hey, watch me do this dropshipping challenge? And in this video, he takes the most basic theme, shrine theme or something, takes a fashion product, uploads it into a CBO with ripped creatives, does $50 day one, $200 day two, $1,000 day three, then he does a 6-figure month. And then you go and try it, and it doesn't work for you. Is he lucky? Are you unlucky? Does he know something that you don't know that he's gatekeeping? I'm a very logical person, and I've always wondered this as well. I really have, because it doesn't make sense to me. Luck doesn't spawn in 6 figures. That's not how that works, especially only for the people who decide to press record on the progress. So why is it so easy for everybody else, but not for you? And I've been asking myself that same question as well for the past 3 years, because I've had to work extremely hard. It sometimes feels like it's too hard compared to a lot of close friends of mine and people that also make content. Like, it seems like it just comes so easy, whereas I have had to study and learn for hundreds, if not thousands of hours to do everything that I have done. I've had to brute force my way in, which I've done and I'm very grateful for. But why in the world does it appear to be so easy? Well, in this video, I'm going to explain exactly how you can almost immediately boost your chance at making something hit like the people on YouTube. Now, the truth is, I set up the most fundamentally perfect product. And if you're in my coaching Discord, I've shared the product, I've shared my progress with it, and you guys know the details behind this, but for the sake of YouTube, I got to keep it a bit private. However, this was the metrics day one of running this product without doing everything I'm about to tell you to do. With the same exact ads re-uploaded into a new CBO at the same impression rate with half the spend, these were the metrics. This is looking closer to like the guy you see on YouTube, right? So what exactly did I do? Let me break it down for you. Have you ever noticed that for the most part, a lot of people on YouTube, myself included, we all work within the same niche. We pick a niche, whether that's fashion, pets, supplements even, and we never ever leave that niche, ever. Never. We sell the same thing over and over and over and over and over again, and a lot of the guys who quote unquote make it sell the same thing. They decide to go into fashion, and products 1 through 19 don't work, then all of a sudden product 20 hits and they make a bunch of money, even though that 20th product doesn't seem that much better than the rest. So what changed? Did they get lucky? Did they not? Well, you could think they got lucky, but also, have you ever noticed how whenever somebody's like saying documenting my ecom progress or whatever, and then they make their first winning product, they decide to sell their first winning product, and it works out. Have you ever noticed that that graph is no longer like, hey, I made it, oh, I'm back down in the trenches, oh, maybe I can make it again? It's always like, it seems like the second they hit their first product, it's just up. Infinite money glitch. You ever wondered why? Well, again, I believe I figured it out. It makes a lot of sense, and I've been subconsciously doing it myself for the past 3 years, and I think that's why I've done what I've done. And the answer is in your pixel. Your pixel is not just a tracking device. It is a technological anomaly of Meta. It's more than just tracking. It's in charge of building your bio profiles. It's in charge of determining how your ads are going to perform at auction, because that's all ad platforms are. They're just big auctions. Let me explain to you guys exactly what I did to get this metric boost and give my product the fair shot that it deserves. Because the only difference between these two, by the way, is traffic quality. Look, impressions were at the same rate pretty much. This was even almost worse. But look, CTR doubled. CPC got cut almost, look, legit perfectly in half. This is a direct cut in half, and look at the buying intent. The traffic quality at auction got boosted an incredible amount. It's ridiculous. And it's because of this sequence that I ran. I did a ton of research into the Meta articles about what a pixel is, how it works, and how to properly set it up to sell. And nobody's really talking about this, and if they are, they deserve more credit. Because you have to understand that Meta Meta advertising is just one big auction. You're auctioning between tens of millions, if not more, ads for a spot at traffic quality and impressions, lower CPMs. So, have you ever wondered, and you guys probably already knew this, it's not uncommon knowledge that Meta is an auction, but have you guys ever wondered that if it is a competition, how are they gauging who's winning and who's losing? You're not in the ring yourself throwing punches. So how in the world does it know whether or not to rank you? Is it random? No, it's not random. And people could say, yeah, well, it's based on spend. You spend more, you get ranked higher at auction. And that's extremely true. As you spend, you will keep ranking up and you'll keep getting delivered higher traffic quality and lower CPMs. But I didn't spend that much to get this metric boost. I spent maybe a couple $100 in between these two campaigns to get this metric boost. So what did I do? All I did was improve my odds a little bit. You guys have to understand that majority of people in your niche that aren't already top dogs spending 6 to 8 figures on their pixels are just launching cold purchase campaigns. And you're probably doing that too. And you have to understand, once you do some research into how this works, how this auction works, launching a cold purchase campaign and expecting something of it and then shutting it off after $100 spent when you don't get conversions, maybe only get one, is obscene. It's laughable, because that's not how it works at all. You're pretty much saying, hey, Meta, enter me into the hardest auction, the purchase auction, with people who have spent a billion X over what I've spent, and deliver me high quality traffic. And if you don't, I'm turning you off. That is absurd. And you're just going to keep looping, and nothing's ever going to work for you, ever. You have to understand how to give yourself a bit of an edge. Understand that every conversion event, from landing page views to add to cart to initiate checkout to purchase, they're different auctions, and they're less competitive all the way up to the most competitive big boy auction, which is purchases. So what I did was I made a fresh pixel. I decided to sell a product that's not on Calidata. I didn't do any spy tool research for it. I used my brain and some simple market demand. That's it. Just looked up to see if there was demand for it. That's all. I used my 3 years of experience to make the most fundamentally perfect offer, product page, product images, ads, everything. And I did this clean split test. This right here was on a completely cold pixel. I want purchases day one on, I promise you, were killer native ads. It looked like this. And most people would give them up after $100 spent. And I don't blame you. But what did I do here? I made a brand new pixel, and I ran it through all these lower funnel events that increased my pixel reliability score, which is a real thing. You can look it up, which determines how your ad performs at auctions. If Meta has more data behind your pixel before you decide to run a purchase campaign, it'll feel that you're more reliable, therefore it'll rank you a bit higher. That's your punches that you're throwing. That is your digital punches to defeat the people in the auction as well. Now, of course, you're always going to lose to the guys at the top, but you don't need a spot at the top yet. You just need a little piece of the pie. That's what this is. That's all this is. So, what is my sequence? Very, very, very simple. I started with the traffic warm-up, and it's not when you click create campaign, it's not when you click traffic. You go down, you click sales, and then under the conversion event, instead of purchase, you do view content. That is extremely important. Do not run a traffic campaign. It is entirely useless for this. And once you run that for about a day, 15, 20 bucks a day, you'll get, if your ads are half decent, 100 or a couple hundred clicks. And now Meta has built a very low funnel buyer profile of just who's willing to click. Okay, this general kind of person, sure. Now, still don't switch to purchase. Run a little add to cart warm up. Just try to get Meta to explore and find people who are willing to at least add to cart. Then it'll tag their interests, their gender, their age, and then it'll combine that with the view content profile, and it'll build you this somewhat rough buyer profile. And then on paper, it says 50 add to cart events is valid to move on to the next. Has a pretty good idea of who's at least willing to add to cart. Initiate checkout. 20, 25 initiate checkouts. And then once you do this, your pixel will be looking like this. Now, this is a screenshot of mine from a little while ago, a couple days ago. So you won't have the purchase events like I have. But, okay, you also won't have 375 add to carts. This was after a bit of running this product. But you will have 50, maybe a few initiate checkouts. And this right here will give you that digital edge to make that difference. The second I ran this sequence, I reran these same exact ads, guys, and it looked like this. I got a fair chance, a completely fair chance. You guys spend so much time trying to get good at making creatives, making websites, and a lot of you guys are really, really good and you're extremely talented, but you're not giving yourself a fair shot. And you think you are because your CPM, you look up what's a decent CPM for this niche, and it says this, and you're like, okay, so my delivery's fine. I guess my ads are just not good. Have you ever thought that maybe Meta is just not taking you seriously? I mean, understand media buying, you'll understand how ridiculous it is. Cold purchase campaign, day one. I'm going to spend $50, $100. If you don't get me conversions, I'm going to turn you off. I'm going to run a new product. It's absurd. Now, you might be wondering how this relates back to me saying all these YouTubers being able to run this challenge day one, hit immediately. And that also goes back to me saying they're all in the same niche. And I'd be willing to bet a lot of these guys don't even know what they're doing as far as why it's working for them every time. Because that's why you see, I mean, again, I'm not naming names. I love most people in the space, but there are a few people you watch them and you're like, wow, this guy's an ego. He's like, yeah, I just did this in 4 days. If you can't do this, not gonna lie, you're probably pretty stupid. I'd be willing to bet that guy doesn't know that because he's only ever ran fashion or whatever niche he's in, I'd be willing to bet money he's used the same pixel every single time. He's been subconsciously building up a profile that looks probably 10 times better than this one. So it's not magic, but it's just an insanely valuable asset that puts him over you every single time, even if on the surface you copy every single thing that he's doing. This is extremely important to understand. You guys aren't gonna run Shrine Theme, rip ads, day one, rip a product up. Can it happen? Yes, but would you rather play by it might happen, or I'm going to make sure this happens? Because this was entirely intentional. I did this on purpose. I wanted to give myself cold pixel test. This is what happens. Same ads, small little lower funnel event warm up, boom. All of a sudden, I'm ranked higher. This is what being ranked higher in the auction looks like at a low scale. This is just a product test. And as you can see, it's doing quite well already. I've only been running this for like a week and a half, and 1 week of that was spent running like these warm-ups. So it's already performing quite well. As you can see, I mean, this is nuts. If you do some math on the cost per add to cart, I mean, it's fantastic. It's realistic. It's a proper warm-up, and this is what nobody says. They say, just set up Shrine Theme, just run this clothing product, just rip these ads, and it'll work. But you got to be logical and think, okay, well, they said they made 6 figures doing that, and they probably did. A lot of guys in this space, they're not lying. They're actually doing it, I promise you. I have connections. I know people who know people. These guys are actually making this money. They're not lying to you. And it is as easy as to make it look for them, for the assets they've built. That's why once their first product clicked, they've never came back down, because they have this ad account, this pixel that is just incredible. It's worth 7 figures most likely. Can't even put a price on it, guys. That's exactly why. On the surface, you're copying them, but beneath, what you don't see is this whole auction, this whole game that's being played, and you're in the ring and you don't even know how to box. Like, you gotta know how to give the art of giving yourself a fair shot, just a fair shot. I promise you, will make you feel like such a much better media buyer, a creative specialist. Your ads will be worth so much more. That's why you see these sites and these ads, and you look them up on whatever tracking thing you want to look them up on, and they're making so much money. You're like, man, I'm better than these guys. Why is it not working? Because they know one thing you don't, and that's how to give yourself a fair shot. And this video is going to change a lot of lives for the guys who are genuinely really good at these skills, but they just are unfamiliar with how this works. Your pixel's not just a tracking device. It is your key to giving yourself a fair shot in a niche. It is. It's the only thing holding a lot of you guys back. It's going to get rid of that X factor, that unpredictable factor of this might just be luck. It's not. It's not. And that's the truth. So, one take, quick video for you guys. I really hope this changes a lot of people's lives. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.